Hey guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the Spirit Animal series. This is actually called the Mystic series, and I plan on adding some other things besides spirit animals. So that's kind of why I named it the Mystic series. But you can follow this also on my blog. This is actually coming directly from my blog. But the first spirit animal that we're going to talk about is the dragon. The photographs that I'm going to use, they're going to be 100% credited at the end of this particular episode. And the information and research is also going to be found in the reference section at the end of this presentation. So the first thing that I want to share with you is the fact that everyone believes that the dragon is this mystical animal that really never did exist. It's this mythical creature that never really did walk the planet. However, from every piece of lore, there's truth, which means at some point I sincerely believe that dragons walk this planet, that they lived on this planet. They may still live here. As far as I know, they are extinct and they're not here anymore. But other people have written books that claim to have seen these animals up close and personal currently. So my personal dragon, because one of my spirit animals is a dragon, and he is huge, and I can see him. There are certain spiritualists that can also see him very clearly. And in general, the dragon totem is extremely powerful, and they range in traits. Believe me, not all of the dragons are the same. As I said previously, there are 4 separate types of dragons. There's fire dragons, there's water dragons, air dragons, and earth dragons. So these are elemental animals. I always thought that I had a fire dragon, but I don't. I discovered quickly in my research that I do not have a fire dragon. They are distinctly different from one another, these elemental dragons. So dragons are synonymous with strength and fearlessness. Those are their 2 key personality components. And they're often messengers. They often bring balance as well as magic to our lives. And when and if a dragon decides to fly into your world, it's a pretty good indicator that it's time to look inward at your psychic nature. And it's time to start those spiritual fires that have either burned out or burned low. And when you find that you're lacking personal strength, these dragons lend you that totem power, that ability to be strong and to be fearless. The dragon is a very beautiful ally. They have all of the dragons that are spirit animals have the ability to help people that feel very weary and very tired, and to lend again their strength to these people. These are also very honest spirit animals, and they engage in peace, and you wouldn't think that they would because they're fire breathers. Some of them look very scary, but the opposite is very true of these animals. My particular dragon arrived last winter in January of 17, right after the new year, and he is very, as I said, very large. And I have learned to honor him in 2 ways. And the first way is tangibility. In other words, if you have a spirit animal, you want to start collecting things that represent that spirit animal, like a totem, like an actual physical totem. I have two tangible knickknacks. One of them is made of wood, and the other one is made of stone. One of the dragons, the wooden one, sits on my altar, and the other one sits on my dresser. And I often wonder if he didn't arrive sooner, because I didn't really recognize him until the January of 17th, but I believe he was here long before that, because when I was writing Blessing of the Elements, I was inspired by a dragon, and it's the same dragon that I see and that has linked himself with me. According to the website called What is My Spirit Animal, the dragon is the following: fearless. That's not me at all. I'm fearful. Passionate. Yep, that fits me. They're intensely loyal. That's another personality trait that I share. They're prone to rage issues. Yeah, that would be me. They're not afraid of change. I don't like change. I don't know one person that does. So that I have some problems with. They have a great sense of humor. I hope that that fits me for the people that know me personally. They think, speak, and act quickly. They're impulsive. That would be me. They're an old soul, wise beyond their years. I am an old soul, so that absolutely fits. They're not afraid to speak the truth. This depends on the situation for me, and desires to rise above all circumstances, and that is the truth. I want to elevate constantly, so I want to rise above my current circumstances. My dragon is an air dragon. His color gives him away, and he is white. Often he's glistening and he's sparkly and he's white, pure white, not albino white, but he's white. And his name is Zequa, and that's spelled Xequa. All air dragons bring insight, every single one of them, and they all bring inspiration and they all bring vitality. That is the nature of those particular dragons. Zequa commands respect, and I wonder if he actually is a spirit guide sometimes. Most dragons are. They fit a dual role. And when problems arise, it's his job to provide guidance and clarity to me. But I also trust my intuition through him and my inner voice, because he helps personify that. I actually seen him in action one evening for the very first time. Usually he's very docile and he doesn't really engage with anybody but me. And I was in a situation where there was some very sinister negative energy that was present. And I actually watched him catch the environment on fire. He cleansed it with fire. So he does breathe fire. He breathes red fire. It was not blue, it was red. And he cleansed the area that I was in through fire. So again, he has a defensive talent. The fire dragon represents energy and mastery. So this particular dragon helps with starting dimly lit fires of the soul. So if you feel like you're drained or you feel like you just can't go on, these dragons are excellent motivators, and they keep you from giving up and they push you forward. And this type of dragon helps you handle and overcome problems that seemingly are not overcomable. I know that's probably not a word. But the fire dragon is also a protector and lends you leadership abilities. So what does the earth dragon do? The earth dragon possesses power, riches, and potential. More than likely, a person that has an earth dragon that's attached to him or her will receive guidance and even prosperity more easily than someone else. This dragon will enable a person to find out what he or she can really do, what their true potential is. And most of the time, they can fly really, really high. This dragon is also very self-reflective, and it educates the person about his or her own power, whether that's earning power, whether that's spiritual power. But this representative is of the earth. And because of that, this dragon offers the person the ability to ground very easily with this animal. Water dragons deal with depth and passion. When memories and thoughts that you felt were buried, long buried, and they pop back up into your mind, you can thank your water dragon for that. He allows you to go to a place that you don't necessarily want to go, but he asks you to go back and experience the trauma so that the water can perform transformative power to wash away the pain and to bring balance and contentment and peace. The water dragon gives courage, just like all the other dragons do. And they are great in battle, which means if you are fighting an emotional battle and you have a water dragon, you have an ally, you have a strong supporter. If you have a dragon as a spirit animal or a spirit totem, how can you connect with these animals? And this goes for all of the animals that we're going to talk about in this series. Meditation is the first step with getting to know your spirit animal. Get quiet and you can probably see that dragon in your head or that spirit animal in your head. That meditation allows you to bond with that animal and speak to that animal and have them speak to you. Collecting dragon images as well as knickknacks can help as well. And some folks actually like to draw and keep journals of their interactions with their spirit animals as well as their spirit guides. Read up about the dragon. You want to educate yourself about the dragon. As I said, I'm going to put the references at the end of this presentation. It will give you a great baseline, but remember that each spirit totem, each spirit animal is different based on your individual qualities. Whether it's factual or not, I know that Zequa is part of my distant past. I am able to do past life readings on myself as well as past life regression. And I believe that Zequa was alive at one time and that he knew me. And if you happen to believe in reincarnation, which I do, this won't seem so far-fetched to you. It won't seem like a fairy tale to you. If you happen to believe that these animals actually did walk among us and that they walked the earth and they were tameable, then that's not going to be very hard for you to believe that he was part of my world at one time. If you don't think that, then you've probably already labeled me as insane and crazy, and that's okay too. That's totally fine. Sometimes you just know things, and you can't explain how and you can't explain why, but my past with this beautiful, large, fire-breathing animal is certainly more than my mortal thoughts can even envelop. It goes far beyond my physical ability to understand. Not everyone is given a dragon, but for those of us that are lucky enough to have one, getting close to them is a privilege. They are phenomenal spirit animals. And like I said, I believe mine is a spirit guide as well. So you're in for quite a ride if you have a dragon as a spirit animal. If you have questions about this, make sure that you contact me. And like I said, I'm going to put the references in the section of this presentation so you can look stuff up on your own if you want to. The other thing that I will do is I will put them in the YouTube description so that you can click the links and look them up yourselves. Please contact me with any questions that you might have or if you need a reading. The reading packages are found on my Facebook page, and that's also going to be included in the YouTube description as well as the end of this video. So for now, have a great evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a great one, and love and light to you, and I will see you next Friday.